Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Let's Talk Taboo podcast with Lana. I'm Lana, go by literally any variation of that name. I'm on the floor today. That's just the kind of day it is. I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna say that every single time that I'm making these, that I'm so excited because I wanted to do this for the longest time, but I just didn't. But I am making it now and it's gonna be good. So first episode was about adult acne and breaking out and all of the joys that come with that. So if you haven't seen that one yet, there's not really gonna be an order where you have to watch the previous one before the next one. If you're interested in the subject that I talk about, then you can watch that. If not, there's no pressure. But yeah, so there was that one. And today is body hair and the joys of that. So hence the title of this podcast, Let's Talk Taboo. These are all subjects that I really wish that I had growing up that weren't talked about, or they were really briefly covered, but not to the extent that I was like comfortable or like I actually felt like I knew what I needed to know. So that's why I'm making this kind of content now, because it's not what I had and it's really what I needed. So yeah, also because I have absolutely zero filter, so I don't have a problem talking about the things that other people are maybe a bit too scared to talk about or uncomfortable. I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable, so that's what I'm here for. So I will probably be a broken record every single episode that I come out with, talking about society and the pressures, all that comes with that. And it's great. So basically, I will just be repeating the same things, most likely. But so kind of a little story time is I actually felt pressured the first time that I shaved. I felt pressured into shaving for the first time. I think I was in year 8, so I was about 12, 13, around there. And I remember it so vividly. We were all lining up, we're in school, we're all lining up, ready for PE class. And so, we're all in the outfits, we're in our shorts, and we're just all sitting on the bench. And I remember this girl next to me saying, hey, Alana, do you shave? Do you not shave? Because 12, 13 years old, that's how old I was. I hadn't even thought about it. It wasn't even something that crossed my mind, like, hey, I want to do this or I don't. It wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind. I was just like, I'm 12. I don't have to do that yet. I don't, no. So I said, no, I don't know. No, I don't shave. And she was like, oh, okay, I think. She wasn't the nicest person, but it wasn't too much. But because of that tiny little comment or question, do you shave? I was like, oh, these other girls must be shaving. So I now have to start shaving because, society, you have to be like everyone else. So I don't know how soon, it was probably that night I came home and went, Mom, I need razors. So I felt pressured just by that simple, harmless question. I felt pressured to shave for the first time. And now it hasn't stopped. Now at 23 years old, 10 years later, still there. So, I felt pressured to do that. And then there's also society's views on starting to shave, removing body hair at certain ages, or how much you get rid of is ridiculous. Every time that I talk about society, just remember society is so long ago, so outdated, and also it literally is men telling women what we should be doing with our bodies, with our lives, with everything. We are born with men telling us what to do. It sucks, but it is the sad truth of being women, is that men think that they can tell us what to do and that we'll just listen. Hate to break it, we won't. But so when I say society, it's really men telling women what to do. And it's ridiculous how much power it still has over us as adults or people that are in high school age. All of this And it makes no sense to me at all. I mean, 13 years old, feeling pressured to shave for the first time, and then growing up, then, you've got social media. I will never, ever say anything negative about social media. I love it. It is my life. Yeah, there are the negative parts of it, but for the most part, it's a really positive thing for me. But there are times that you end up comparing yourself. You'll compare your body, you'll compare literally every aspect of your life, because society is also breathing down our necks. So we're doing that to kind of try to equal it out. And yeah, so you're comparing, and I don't know, this is just relevant to me. I don't know if anyone else does it, but I would find women around my age, all of that. I'm like, okay, our bodies are different, but we're the same age. Okay, she shaves everything. What about me? Like, we're the same. Really, it's just me comparing myself to women in the same age group. Not really like older or younger, but people in the same age, because it's like, okay, I need to be like these people. So there is that. I'm also, my entire personality is very stubborn. I don't really ever like to do what anyone says. I will just go off on my own and do what I want to do. And yeah, but there are still those pressures, like breathing down. It's like, I might kind of put it to the side and be like, oh, whatever, I don't care. But it's still like, oh, part of me cares. So the joys of that is society breathing down our necks, and then there's social media comparison. It is very real. So body hair is very natural. It happens. It's not something that we choose to do. We don't wake up one morning and be, hey, I'm gonna grow some body hair now. I think, it's cold, so I want my legs to be warm, so I'm gonna do that. We are born with hair. I was born with a lot of hair on my head. Oh my gosh. But, we're born with body hair. Puberty happens, we get more body hair. Add in, if someone has a hormone issue, that can happen even more. Again, I mentioned it in my other episode that I do have a hormone condition. I do have PCOS, which also one of the things means that I do have more body hair than, say, a woman without it. So with that, it's a very natural thing. It does not mean that you are gross, you are lazy, you are unkept if you choose not to shave. And when I say shave, I mean any body hair removal process. Shaving is the easiest word. So whether you choose to remove it, it's completely up to you, but it is a natural process. Everyone has it. Men have it, and they have absolutely no issues, no pressures to get rid of it. Women do. It blows my mind. Why? I still don't get it. But it is natural. So don't feel like there is this foreign thing on your body. It's not foreign. It is just a part. It has a purpose. But whether, people don't generally care about the actual purpose of it, it's like, oh, I don't like it, or you don't care about it. It doesn't matter. But it is natural. It does happen to everybody. But yeah, it's not foreign. There are different methods to use if you do decide that you don't want to have any body hair, with however much that is. There are different methods. Again, I felt pressured into different methods. I started off with razors because I'm like, okay, that's the thing that you use, you shave. And then people are like, oh my God, you shave, you don't wax, or you don't do this. I'm like, get pressured into removing body hair for the first time, and then you get even more pressure with how you choose to remove it. It's like, pick your battles, people. I'm getting the same result. So I felt, really weird. For whatever reason, it's just what was in my brain. I felt really old. I thought using razors at the time, not at first, but after a while, that using razors was only something that kind of older generations did. But that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with using razors. So that's what I'm going to do. Society and people will literally find any opportunity to give you crap about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, so something else that's kind of going along with the pressures of removing body hair or keeping it or whatever is single life and being in a relationship or wanting to take that step and start a new relationship. So single life, you don't really care that much. Like, you might choose to like shave for yourself or not, whatever your decision is for your body hair as single can change when you decide to go into a relationship. Not from, or hopefully not from, a pressured point of view, not from if you're in a relationship and that person is basically trying to control and tell you what you should do with that. If they're saying, I want you to shave this body part, I want you to be this, don't stay. That's not a good relationship to be in. But not talking about the pressures per se, but the things that are important to you can change in your mind going into a relationship. You might not have cared so much about having body hair when you're single, when it's just you, but you might care because you want to be a bit more presentable, or it just your relationship with it can change going into that. And that is not a bad thing. That is fine. The only kind of thing to kind of take some time on to think about is if someone is making you feel pressured or uncomfortable about it. That is the only thing that you need. And because I don't have a filter, so I have absolutely no shame in embarrassing myself or overexposing myself. And it's fun just to have a little bit of humor in things. Is just, exposing myself when, again, I think I was year 8 or year 9, so around 13, 14, around there. It wasn't from a peer pressure point of view. It was from still like, oh, I want to be like this person. We're, in class, I saw this girl come in and she shaved her arms. First I've ever heard of anyone shaving their arms. I was like, oh, okay, and like people are loving it and it's all this and it looked really good. I then went home that night and I shaved my arms. Once in year 8 or maybe it was year 9, I was around there. So I am a really, really young teenager, very easily influenced, and I shaved my arms. Fully, like from like the wrist to the elbow. I did all that. And now at 23, so about 10 years later, I shaved them once, and I now permanently have hairier arms than I used to. So just kind of sharing that, but also kind of like being aware that, if you do decide to start body hair removal, shaving, whatever, it is going to change the consistency of your hair, it's going to change the color of your hair, all of this, but don't do things on a whim to either impress a girl or anything, because you will live with it. So, but I can laugh about it now and cringe. Okay, and something else is, again, people putting pressures onto people about, removing body hair, what method you're using to remove that body hair. But not everyone is the same. So as someone, again, because all of my content, if I can't personally relate to it, I'm not going to talk about it. I might in the future do videos with another person so that then they can, share something. But if it's just me, then it's something that I have personally experienced. So there's the kind of struggles, the pressures, all of that on body hair removal just as it is. But then take kind of, I don't know what the word is, someone living with chronic illness or chronic pain, having to shave any kind of method can be a real struggle. It can be so hard. It can be this really big, daunting task that you just don't want to do. Even if you are someone that really, you like the feeling of not having hair on your body, it can be so hard. It can be extremely painful. It can give you a flare. Not to mention, you can't move when you're having a flare. So there's all of that, and then people will be like, hey, you haven't shaved, you haven't done all this and that, but you usually do. Like, why? It's like, I was having a really bad flare. It's like, I could not move my body. So there is all these things that blows my mind. There's a million reasons that go into each and everything, and people are individual. You have to let them just let them be. Just let people do what they want to do. Don't compare your body to someone else's body. And it doesn't matter if you're the same gender and the same age and all of this. your body hair is going to look different. And people have different struggles. People might just not care and you really do care. And other people care but they can't. There's a million things. It's weird, but someone's like, oh yeah, you know, I shave, I deal with body hair, but not everywhere. It's like, you know, I started off just doing, I think, my legs, and maybe under my arms, I don't know. I started doing those and I was like, cool, yep, you know, I'm in the like shaving club. I'm in the hairless club, awesome. And then, you know, as I'm getting older, people are like, oh no, you know, like I do this, I do my stomach line, I do, you know, pubic area, I do all of this. And I'm just like, what? I need to get on board because I'm only doing like my legs and under my arms. So it is great. You can care about a certain part of your body and then not care about the other parts. So you can be like, okay, you know, I really want to shave my legs and under my arms and that's it. I don't care about any other hair anywhere else. Or you could kind of be the opposite, or you just want to be a hairless cat. Literally a hairless cat just popped into my brain. But yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, these things change. And again, with someone with a sensory issue, you know, the textures of having hair on your body can change in each area. So I might, you know, not so much care about having hair on my legs, but it really bothers me to have hair under my arms. I'm not saying it does, because in this moment, I can't remember what bothers me. But all these things, they have different textures. So you don't need to shave every area. If you don't want to shave an area, don't. I don't shave above my knee. I used to think that was normal. I didn't think anyone dealt with hair above the knee. I thought it was really normal to just up to the knee and you're done. And then I started seeing people do that. I'm like, what? You do that? Because I have big thighs. I have very big thighs. So one, I'm like, that's just going to take too much time. I don't like spending time on dealing with body hair. I'm like, if it's not quick, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's too long. I think in my 23 years of life, I have shaved above my knees, so my thighs, twice. Hated it each time. I think I probably gave up each time. I was halfway done. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And now, again, because of that, because it's not something that I do a lot and often, but I have done it in the past, so the hair growth has changed. Oh, that's something fun to deal with. But yeah, again, I don't really care that much, and I didn't think anyone shaved above the knee. So everyone is different. It really doesn't matter. So I think that is all. I hope I kind of covered it or gave you, I don't know, some piece of advice or just some reassurance that it happens and not everyone cares about it that much. I mean, they really don't. If someone is giving you crap for it, just be like, I just don't care. Because honestly, I will say it again a million times. I spent 19 years caring what people thought about me. I just don't anymore. I really don't. I would be so consumed by it, and now honestly it will go straight over my head. They'll be like, oh, why don't you do this? Or like they'll be giving me crap and I'm just like, I just don't care. I really don't. You can say all these things to me and I don't care. I think I like sitting on the floor. I feel more awake. I feel good. One thing else I just wanted to cover that I didn't write down for whatever reason is having body hair and choosing not to deal with it does not make you, I think I briefly covered it, lazy, unkept, anything. It doesn't make you gross. It also doesn't mean that you're any less feminine. I am a very feminine woman. I am. But I just don't care that much, but society still does. If it sees that you have body hair anyway, it's like, oh my God, look at her, you know, she's not feminine, she's not girly enough, she's not all this, and it's just gross, and no one look at that. That's not the case. That might be society and men's view on it, but it's not the case. So do what you want to do with your own body and don't let people push their own views on it onto you. It's your own, do what you want, honestly. It is fine and it is completely okay to change your mind on it. You know, I didn't care at first when I was little. I didn't care about body hair. And then I went into this phase of I really care and I have to be hairless. And then when I got diagnosed with my chronic pain, I started to really not care at all. I was like, I just can't. And now I'm kind of in a phase of some days I care and some days I just don't. So take it each day as it comes. Your relationship can change with it. And yeah, I am a very awkward person, so that's not going to change. That's just going to stay. That's just me. So yeah, so if you've liked something that I've covered, or you just want to hang around for the awkwardness that is me and have a daily laugh or a weekly laugh, that is good too, because I will probably, well, I can't watch these back, they're just too weird. But yeah, so hopefully there will be a gold nugget in each episode that I put out that will just resonate so much with you. And again, the change of angles because my phone freaked out and it died, and it's not having a bar of me at the moment. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching, putting up with it. And yeah, I put this out in 2 formats. I've got the visual, which is this, and also the audio, which is up on Spotify. Same name, same everything. The audio goes up on every single Wednesday, and the visual goes up on every Friday. So they're the same content, it's just different formatting for people that want that little different something. Whether you want to be doing other stuff and listening to me being crazy, or if you actually want to watch the insanity that I am and the endless hand gestures, which is the one Italian trait that I actually have. But yeah, so hopefully there was something in this that resonated with you. That is my entire goal of this podcast, is just hopefully there is something and I'm not just blabbering, which could happen. But yeah, so hopefully there's something. Please share this with people that you know, whether it's just for a laugh, because I'll take that as a win. If I can make someone laugh, I'll do it. Or if it's something that you think that could really help them, really please share it, get them to come over and see, and all of that. I will put in the comment section where you can find me on different socials. I'm on TikTok every single day. This YouTube is every week, and same as Spotify, and also Instagram I'm on daily. Maybe not post it. I don't post daily, but I'm active on that daily. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and it wasn't too awkward, too cringy for you to watch. And yeah, if you want to stay up to date, make sure that you are following me. I think it's following on Spotify. I think you can press a little follow thing. Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Stay up to date. I will also there's not a schedule, but I will be posting other non-podcast related content onto my YouTube, just when I feel like it, when I can think of something that I want to do. But yeah, so make sure to do those so that you stay up to date. As a reminder to drink water, because water's good for you. So I hope you'll have a brilliant day. Make sure to stay up to date with all of this, and yeah, definitely leave feedback. I'm very open to feedback, what you think of it. And yeah, my DMs are always open on Instagram. Comments on here, I will read every single one. And yeah, if there is a certain topic that you want me to cover, definitely let me know. And nothing is off the table. So nothing is too taboo or too awkward or anything. I don't care how awkward it is. I'll talk about it. If it's wanted, I will talk about it.